Hi, my name is Sheff, and I will be working towards my first ever quest cape. To start things off, I first took inventory of the quests I've already done, since I'm clearly not starting from scratch, and to make that process easy for myself, I used the spreadsheet that Slayer Music 1 uploaded to YouTube a few years ago. Now, I initially started with all the free-to-play quests, some of the Members Essentials quests, and by filling in the gaps with the optimal quest guide that you can find online, but I liked Slayer Music's quest progression a bit better. I also like that I could keep track of things for myself on Google Sheets. And if you'd like to take a look at either one of those, by the way, I've left a link to both of them in the description below. After that, I decided which quests I was going to do for this first session, and going from the top down, I determined that those would be Misthalin Mystery, Enter the Abyss, Sea Slug, and the Ardoin Easy Achievement Diaries. So once I figured that out, I set off to do just that. However, soon after I started, I realized that I had already done Misthalin Mystery, so I went ahead and checked that one off, and instead of starting with it, I'm actually going to start with Enter the Abyss, as you can see here. Also, as you can see, I'm using quest guides because it's 2020, doesn't really make sense to do these quests blind, and it also doesn't really sound like that much fun. You can see me taking out all the equipment that I need for this quest, only to realize that I would have to go into the wilderness and put everything back. And I know it's only level 7 in the wilderness, but I'd really rather not lose that full graceful set that I grinded for just before starting this series. And, don't want to take that risk. Now, talk to the Mage of Zamorak after I figured out where he was, which took me quite a bit since he didn't show up on the minimap, and that was because Enter the Abyss is a mini quest, which I didn't know until someone in the livestream chat told me about it. But I knew where to find him because the quest said that he was at the end of the River Lum, and I at least knew what the River Lum was. You can see that there's a long dialogue here. I'm kind of just skipping through it. Mostly because it was the first quest I was doing on stream. I had some of my friends in there. Shout out to Nico and Sean. I didn't want to, bore them with that, but I did go through some of the quest dialogue later with Sea Slug. Now, Enter the Abyss was a pretty straightforward mini quest, which I figured out at some point later, where I only had to teleport to the Rune Essence Mine from 3 different locations. Just took me a while to figure that out because, one, I wasn't really reading the quest guide, I was only looking at the checkboxes, and also because I kept messing up my teleports, as you can see there. I also took a lot of unnecessary steps in the Wizard Tower, going to the top floor instead of going to the basement. But eventually figured it out, went to Ardoin, didn't make any mistakes there. This guy was actually the easiest one to find. And yeah, with that, I had everything that I needed to complete Enter the Abyss, and didn't know what to expect for a reward, really. I was just going for a completion, and I was pretty excited to see that little rune pouch show up in my inventory, as well as the rune crafting experience. I've watched some RuneScape videos, saw that rune crafting pouches is a thing, so yeah, pretty happy to get that and to complete the Enter the Abyss mini quest, and the first actual part of my quest cape journey. Although I don't think I need that for a quest cape. Anyway, first actual quest was Sea Slug. Pretty happy about that because fishing content, and love myself some fishing content. And also appreciated that the main child in the story, or in the quest, was named Kenneth. And have a friend that we call Kenneth, named Kenny, but it's actually not Kenny. So, like I said, I was reading out the dialogue here, but I was actually substituting it for my own dialogue. Yeah, just to make it, a bit more personal. Anyway, made it to the fishing platform and realized that it wasn't going to be the same kind of fishing content that I was expecting. There was actually a bunch of zombie fishermen people. Not a whole lot of fishing on my part, but still a lot of fun. Would have taken me a lot longer if I wasn't following a guide, but since I was, didn't take me very long to free Kenny and then drop him into the ocean, like I did just there. And his mother gave me a reward for basically drowning him, which leaves us with Sea Slug complete. last part, oh, also, I did this on the last recording too. Anyway, I did end up fishing on the fishing platform for that medium task for the Ardoin area, which leads us into, which should have led us easily into the easy achievement diary for Ardoin, which is the last task that I ended up doing for this session. I started by trying to pickpocket the rusty sword from the Ham members because I felt like that would take the longest time, and if it weren't for fishing trawler at the very end, this would have taken the longest time. As you can see, it's taken me at least a minute just to even get into the place. Had thieving of like 25, 26. Even got sent to jail and got sent outside. But you know, after about 15, well, maybe 10, 15 minutes of pickpocketing, I eventually got that rusty sword. And as soon as I did, I just realized that I had a double clip there. Oh well, you know, first video things. Got the rusty sword and headed on my way to do the rest of the task. As you can see, I'm kind of a noob. Just killed all the guards until they stopped attacking me for stealing from the silk stall, and then couldn't sell the silk back to the guy because he apparently saw me doing that. Not surprised though, and not too worried because that gave me time to just do all the other things, and figured I'll just get the silk on the way back. And I fall in the river as well. So yeah, I did things in this order because it was like a nice little walking route all the way around Ardoin down to Yanil, and then back up to the fishing trawler, which I saved for last because there's a minigame teleport for it. I thought it would be fun to end the session with a fishing minigame, you know, the fishing content. But as you can probably tell from these clips, I had no idea what I was doing. I haven't played fishing trawler since I was a kid, first playing RuneScape, and I forgot that this minigame is actually requires you to be there for 10 whole minutes doing whatever you're supposed to be doing. I don't think I was doing the right things here. I was just clicking on fills whenever I could, and when the boat would flood like this, I was filling up bale buckets. Wasn't sure what I was supposed to do with those though. So at first I was just emptying them back into the hole, and I realized, well, maybe I probably shouldn't do that. So I went upstairs and started emptying them there. Anyway, after 10 minutes of not knowing what I was doing, I completed that task for the easy achievement diary, and probably never gonna play fishing trawler ever again until I need to do the grind that everyone else was there for. Teleported to Ardoin, sold the silk for 60 GP successfully, and that was all of the easy tasks done for Ardoin. So I went to go claim my cape and my experience lamp. Wasn't sure what to put the experience lamp into, so I just threw it into farming. It was either going to be that or attack, since I kind of want to start wielding my dragon weaponry already, but figured that I'll just get the combat experience at some point during my time questing. Whereas farming, I probably won't. So yeah, that's the the Ardoin easy achievement diary is done. Got my cape, the teleports to the monastery, and completed all the objectives that I set out to do for my first ever official Road to Quest Cape questing session. And yeah, all in all, I'm pretty excited to be here. I realized I could make these videos a bit more professionally and actually work on a script instead of saying things off the top of my head, but that would kind of just defeat the purpose of stopping before I even get started. And that's the whole point of this journey in the first place, getting started and going from there. So yeah, if you enjoyed what you saw here, if you want to follow me on this journey for questing, feel free to subscribe to the channel here. Go ahead and follow me on Twitch, SheffQuest69, where I'll be live streaming the progress before I curate it into videos like this. And either way, hope you have a great day and see you in the next video.